All right. Excuse me as I start thy procession. Get prepared, thy energies, thy consciousness, yes? Because we're going to be talking about Anunnaki and those reptiles, reptilians. Excuse me, guys. Just preparing the transmission, making sure we have everyone prepared. It's public and it's on, and we got sound, we got light. Yeah, Machiwa. We already got love coming on in. Avisio Josie 15, greetings, Holy One. Look at you, all right. Andromeda. Oh my gosh, that's positive vibes already. Beacon of God's light. Eternal love, Holy Ones, yes. Life Monique, oh my gosh, you said it, Holy One. Machiwa. And surely there's more going to be coming in. And we're kind of like interested in this topic because it is about aliens and ETs, but you know, it also represents spirit because these are beings from other dimensions, what we call multidimensionals. All right, so when we talk about aliens, well, you start talking about the reality field too. You just start having some casual conversations about some alien beings. Well, you just think about from this point of view, and it's you would not be able to understand Anunnaki, Holy One. You will not be able to understand truly what are these reptilians without understanding the multidimensional structure. So some of you are regulars, right? Yeah, right. And some of you are first-time comers, and you realize that this is really a spiritual channel, but we do talk about things like aliens and stuff, but it's also a spiritual topic. Because we're talking about beings of a supernatural, compared to us, you would say, we are these beings too, but from our 3D point of view, they're like super advanced, right? So it's not like a big deal for them to communicate with us. Mostly it's about the humans becoming aware of these beings by hearsay. But then you got people, that are psychic, right? You guys are perceiving these multidimensional beings because you have, well, multidimensional perceptions. Okay, so you guys are gonna hear about Anunnaki aliens, but realize some of us actually see them. We understand who they are. We remember who they are, and we have memories of these beings. And we're also talking about the reptilians, and just realize that they're two different alien races, and we call many. When you understand that the multidimensional nature of our multiverse, then you understand that the Draconians, reptilians, Omicron, actually, these beings are a little bit above. The Anunnaki are a little bit higher. And so, now we're actually, just to be so we're accurate, this is actually the Anunnaki's forefathers, okay? They're the actually, you would say, we're talking about fallen angelics, okay? These are the first beings to ever fall, which is the Anunnaki's creator beings. So these are called the Anu Elohim, okay? So the Anu Elohim will be the race that will create the Anunnaki, which we're talking about tonight. But we're talking about a multi-dimensional reality field, and you would say that the Anu Elohim are in the 11th dimension, okay? So we're going to be learning about that tonight, and how the Draconians, the reptilians, are in the 10th dimension. It doesn't matter to us because they're both more advanced than us. They're like bullies, right? And they're coming on in and causing these problems with us. And that's what we're talking about tonight. Stephanie Houston, welcome, Holy One. Oh my gosh, Andrew, yeah, beautiful people. Saka, yeah. Machiwa Hitami, Sato, greetings, Holy One. Matsaka Tashuana. Yes, Grace Aquarius, full of those emotions. Meow meow in the house. Machiwa, Holy One. Shadow Vinoct. How's it going, Holy One? Yeah. Funky Tiger. Ay, vatos. All right, guys. We're here on live, so you will see me address my homies in the house. Chihuahua. And you got to realize that the Anunnaki, the Anu Elohim, are actually originally from this planet called Vega. Because you got to realize when we teach here the founder races, and you would say the Anu Elohim are part of one of those fallen. They're part of the founders races who fell. So they're fallen consciousness, fallen angelics, because we are talking about the levels of consciousness that are actually higher than angels and archangels. So we're talking about fallen angels. Well, good or bad, they're extraterrestrials, multidimensionals, other reality fields. So you understand the reality fields. Now you can understand these ETs are coming through stargates, portals, to downstep into a lower frequency. When you go up, you're upgrading. When you go down, you're downstepping. Consciousness downsteps. It's like falling consciousness. From the original, you fall farther down from the original. Machiwa. So these beings who are fallen, obviously, are dark. You would say a malevolent being, consciousness. They are against life. They want to control it. They want to dominate it. They're anti-life, anti-Christos. Okay, so these beings tonight we're talking about, these beings are high-level avatars. They live in those liquid light fields. Some of them in the phantom matrix, a lot of them. So they fall in consciousness, but some of them haven't died, like they're immortal, so they haven't fallen down there, but they will. Because fallen falls. So that's part of their matrix. So until they choose to stop vampiring and, killing, obviously, and manipulating against someone's free will, any being, on any planet, okay? They wanted, and the thing of it is, this whole thing started between the Anunnaki and the reptilians. This whole history of this whole drama is their drama. And we're like getting a taste of it down here because it populates all the way down the dimensions. So the Anunnaki had a problem. And remember, we're saying Anu Elohim because that's what it's hard to explain. It's kind of like, but that came first and then the Anunnaki. So when sometimes I might say that, but you got to realize the Anu Elohim are incarnating into the Anunnaki beings. So that's the soul of that being as an Anu Elohim. That's what you really are experiencing, but a lower version of itself. It doesn't know everything like its higher self. Just like you're not aware of it. Intrinsically, it's there. You have all knowledge, but it's in fragmented form. We have to put it all together. That's what we do on a spiritual journey, holy ones. And some of you are on a spiritual journey. And in order to understand light, right? To have a reference point of what is light, you have to see what the darkness is. We're talking about the darkness. And please don't take me out of context and say, oh, Thavian, not all Anunnaki are bad. Yes, I know. We know this. We're loving beings. We're not judging these Anunnaki. We actually offer to heal them. Some of you come to me for healing, or someone else in a guardian. I realize it's part of our responsibility. If you're in a blue flame, Emerald Order, or you're part of this holy Seraphi, beings coming in, indigos coming in. Because realize, we've all lived all of these lives. But you're going to have new consciousness coming in those fields who will be, ends up being a lower frequency until they come back to their higher self. You got to start being aware of, these higher levels of consciousness, you guys. How can you connect to that if you're not familiarizing yourself with it? You have to know these concepts of spirit. These are concepts of God. These are concepts of yourself. and we're dealing with beings like the Anunnaki and the reptilians, well, that's part of us too. Okay? We talk about the law of one here, and we believe all are God, even these dark beings. I mean, because God is all. God is experimenting darkness and light. It's all God. You can't say one's outside of Creator. And I make lots of videos about that. Tonight it's about the Anunnaki, and these beings forgot that. By the time they twisted themselves, distorted themselves, did horrific things in our history, which we're going to touch on tonight, they fell. And when you fall, you literally will forget some stuff from that drama. What you may have done in that higher levels. But your higher levels exist now. They're there communicating with your lower selves, channeling your lower selves. These Anunnaki and reptilians will be monitoring for people to channel to. So that's another video, but check out my channeling video, check out my extraterrestrial videos where I talk about these other races. All of these races, not just the Anunnaki and the Draconian, which specifically these two fallen angels almost basically were falling at the same time. The Anunnaki were falling, and the reptilians, Anu Elohim, okay, and the reptilians were also falling, and falling as in consciousness, as falling from its original DNA. You once were 12 strand, and now you're not 12 strand. Actually, the Anu Elohim are 11 strand, aren't they? So the 11th strand became, a lesser version of itself. It forgot itself. It forgot its connection to God. It suffered its connection to God. These beings literally, you would say, purposefully cut off their 12th template, their 12th strand of their DNA template. You know what that does? That severs you from source. So beings and races like the Anunnaki and the reptilians, what now, without source consciousness, which is perpetual eternal life, you're connecting to this field all the way up to source God. It's coming through the Ascended Masters, it's coming through the time matrix, it's coming to our dimension, our world, our life. But no, it's not, because they cut it off. So those beings cut themselves off, and now they fell into the phantom. Understand, other beings go into the phantom, demons, fallen angels, beings who are falling. If you don't like the word angel, use alien. These are aliens, multidimensional aliens, races, okay, collectives, not just individuals. They're a collective, a race. And we're caught up in this drama. Each and every one of you have a part of this drama coming from the Anu Elohim, antichristic beings, dark avatars, Jehovanians. These beings are like Wakaya Motsikaya. These are the beings who actually did something so horrible. The Anunnaki. First of all, before we get to that point, these Anu Elohim started complaining about the reptilians. So these falling beings started getting mad about the reptilian fallen beings. So they complained, the Anu Elohim complained to the Lyran High Council, that's what it's called. We call it the Iani Master Council. Actually, sorry, I made a mistake. The Lyran Council has to do with stargates. This is the High Council that goes to the Ascended Master level. So these beings, the Anu Elohim were complaining. It's not actually funny, but it's kind of like, dude, you're dark and you're complaining about someone else who's dark. So, to High Council, no less. So obviously the High Council weren't going to go kill the Draconians. So they said, sorry, no Anu. That was the being's original name, was Anu before it fell. It was called Anu. And Anu got angry, very, very angry at God. It's God too, but High Council, no, what? You're not gonna go kill those reptilians? They're breaking the Emerald Covenant. Holy One, guardians do not kill when they know that everything has to be healed, not annihilated. Okay, so they didn't like that answer. The Anu didn't like that answer, so they literally blew up their planet. They blew up Armentana. This is where this all starts. This whole crap from Anunnaki. You probably hear some really small like concept of Anunnaki. Okay, like the Sumerian gods. Okay, that's not the whole picture, honey. That's what. Enki, Marduk, Enlil, Machiwa. Very small part of it, honey. We talk about Nibiru. We talk about where these beings are coming from. So we have the fallen beings blow up Armentana so they could blow up Stargate 12, which cut them off from source. This was a big deal for 1,000,000 years, guys. These beings were conquering planets for 1,000,000 freaking years. Sorry, my dog's gonna be. It's not my dog. She's gonna be barking. So please get through that. She won't listen to me. It's not my dog. So I mean, I'm not gonna discipline her. But this is part of this horrific thing, and so this caused a lot of problems because these are universal stargates, which is. DNA is tied into. It's a hologram field. It's all connected to energetically, all the way down in manifestation, all the way down to you from up there. So you are a spirit having a human experience. And part of this spiritual warfare, this war, it's between these high-level dimensional beings. And they did some horrific things and blew up a whole planet. The Draconians blew up the planet Avion. So that was the Anunnaki's, Elohim's home planet. Oh great, now because of these wicked beings, now we have 2 destroyed planets. Of course it took them 1,000,000 years, the Guardians, to fix this problem. The Stargates were repaired. But this is where these fallen beings has started. And I started my blog, you guys. Finally, yay! Now, it's not perfect. I'm talking about the technical aspect. So if you go to my website now, it's a blog. But I have to fix some stuff. I just did that today. I have to fix some stuff. But there was some article about that. About this. How these beings fell and what they did and why they and what happened to them. They fell into the phantom matrix. But these beings still have come on through because they've made a hybrid with humans. They mess with your DNA, and so they can create a being that's half human, half Anunnaki. Same with the reptilians. These are gangsters, competing gangsters, you guys. They don't like each other. They have different agendas. You know, like any enemy, sometimes they get along for a small period of time so they can, if they have like a mutual enemy, like the humans, so they will sometimes get along, but most of the part they also have to fight each other, not just us. So, and it's not even just them anymore. Now there's more powerful races too, like the Necromatons. That's what the Men in Black are actually connected to, and all this other crazy aliens, hybrid creatures, just like they did in the ancient days. Where these beings are coming from. Where do you think the Nephilim come from? They come from these Anunnaki Sumerian gods, creator god beings. Okay, they come from these aliens, these ancient aliens. Okay, because it's not from just lately. All this UFO stuff is connected, but not to how long they've been here. They've been here for over 50,000 plus years. They've come in ancient periods of time of human history. And we're talking hundreds of thousands of years, even millions of years. It all started millions of years ago when in Density 2 Tara. So the part of the planet was destroyed because they're trying to kill the Lemurians. And you try to kill the Lemurians, you're causing some... First of all, they were using gigantic crystal grids. I'm talking about planet building size crystals. They made cities inside the crystals and guarded them. But one time it wasn't enough. They tricked us. What they're doing now, they mix with the humans so they can get the human DNA, right? Part of it, they're master geneticists. Now they're walk amongst us because they have a half human, half Anunnaki, half human, half reptilian hybrid. Now they can incarnate into those beings in this human drama. It's like body snatching. It's a military tactic. It's been going on for a long time. And so we are amongst all kinds of races on Earth, not just human, not to mention just starseeds, indigo children, who are part of this war, you would say, spiritual war. We're guards, we guardians, guard against these beings, races like this, who are on a military attack on us. And we talk, and we're talking about like this spiritual war. You just think of it from like spaceships and stuff. It's not just spaceships and stuff. It's freaking spiritual warfare, taking your, over bodies, influencing your biofields, even going into possessing people and walking in those bodies, getting able to sometimes kick that original soul out, and then here they are now in control of that body. I mean, this is advanced spiritual warfare, honey. So these Anunnaki are part of that broadcast central. You like the channel, huh? You like to play the Ouija boards, huh? Well, it's not just disembodied spirits. You're going to get some of these vampires, some of these fallen angelics. They call themselves the Luciferian Covenant. These Anunnaki coming from Nibiru, planet 9, some people call it. Zechariah says something like planet 12. So we have these different planets, okay? When we talk about ancient aliens like these Anunnaki and these reptilians, all right? So they're not in the best interest. Okay, you can like some Anunnaki if you want, because that's where Thoth's coming from. He's an Anunnaki hybrid, not a true Anunnaki. Well, it's half Anunnaki, not a purebred, I was going to say. There's only one purebred Anunnaki, okay? Because that's what we're talking about tonight, right? That's the Jehovani. These are the only true Anunnaki, Jehovians. They made their little pet race in their dimension, by the way, in the 11th dimension. So, I wonder if I did that correct. So, I just want to show you guys, and I'll catch up with chat. Wait, do I have the diagrams open? Of course not. All I need to do is open one, though. There we go. So, we have this diagram. There's a small mistake here. The Anu should be here. And I realize a new mistake. These three should be on the same line. So just realize that. But anyways, I always update this this diagram, and this will be my next update, which will be probably within 24 hours. I didn't know this part too, but these are all in an 11th dimension. The Anu fell and became the Anu Elohim. Then they created the Jehovian on their dimension. They can't create anything higher than the 11th dimension because they're stuck there. And so they created the races below them. What's happened is other races like these Dracon, which are actually, which are actually Omicron, and the Omicron mixed with the Anunnaki. So you got half Anunnaki, half dragon now. Half dragon, half Anunnaki, and then what you get is a hybrid. And that's what the Marduk, Enki, and Enlil, which are on the inset here. We got these half breeds. fallen Anu Dracos. Not just Anu, not just Draco, but both. And that's where you get the Necromatons. They're just as powerful as the Anunnaki. It's the dragons who are lesser than both these races. But anyways, some of these are half Draco. So these are powerful races within themselves. But like I said, they call themselves Luciferian. And this is where you get the word Satan from too. One of these families are called Marduk Draman, Satan, a family line of Satan. Satan. So you got mixture of Luciferian and Satan, Satan. Lolatan and family line of Enki and the Satan family of Marduk. So Luciferian Satan houses getting together, vatos. Nice beings. No, not nice. Even those pretty blondes. Nope. Sorry, you don't want to date one of these ones, honey. Oh, but they visited Billy Myers. Exactly. And then there's all those insects. They're like coming out of the lizard people, reptilian DNA. They come from the gold flame. Remember, everything came from the top and fell down. Anunnaki came from the Elohai. The Omicron Draconians came from the Seraphi. It's an angelic wars between blue flame and gold flame. There's not really many fallen violet flame races. So, but we're talking about, I mean, of course, you're going to get something like the centaurs, like you saw down here, and that's coming out of the, it's part violet flame. So some races have fallen, but for the most part, the Pegasi, the whale people, and dolphins, and the Yoni, aquatic apes, they all are peaceful. And there's also deer. Deer come out of the violet flame. But as you can see, there's fallen beings in the gold flame. And there's fallen beings in the blue flame. So these fallen beings are gangsters. They're competing gangsters. The Anunnaki and the Dracon. They don't like each other. They both want to control Earth. So we got two people, and we got the Necromatons. The precious Andromes that some of you are channeling are freaking dark beings, man. And that's what these races were up here. Men in Black, the Nephilim, mermaids, the giants, the vampires. Oh, nice beings. No, definitely not nice. Even the centaurs are pretty wicked. I know in Harry Potter they were nice, but nope, not nice, man. So, this is what tonight's video is about. I just wanted to get you guys familiar with that. I love you, vatos. What's going on, homies? Yeah. Thank you for being on my live, holy ones. What's up, Isabel? My moderator in the house. Oh my gosh. Shadow. How are you all doing today? Isabel, love you guys. Hi, Davian. Hey, sister. We got Candace. She's a moderator too, so she might pop in. Yeah. C.A. Dave. Love and Light. Stephen Houston. Life Monique. Alright. Funky Tiger. Olichka. Greetings, holy sister. Maria Sophia. Beautiful name. Yeah, register, you guys. Sign up. Oh my goodness. Yes, just stand in your light. Like Andrew said, just believe that you're not gonna. It's like, think about it, guys. It's consciousness and energy, and when you keep projecting it all the time, like especially when you pray or something, excuse me, you're gonna be building, like reinforcing the shield, this protection. It's like a magic. You keep thinking it, just like you manifest here, right? By thinking about it. Whether it's a good thing or bad thing, you keep thinking about it, it's going to manifest. Same thing. Keep manifesting the shield. Keep manifesting protection. Keep seeing protection. Keep talking about protection. Keep praying for protection. Keep thinking about protection. Keep visualizing protection. See? Every day, a few times a day, you're reinforcing protection. Hardcore. You need it in this spiritual war with the Anunnaki Reptilians. Amachiwa. Sorry, guys. Grace. What was he doing? I'm not sure. Danny. Universal Stargates. Woohoo, baby. Kumachiwa. You know how you say SG1? Stargate 1. Universal Stargate. USG1. Yeah. So, that was an excellent question. Omatsu. Did you guys know that there's actually stargates on the planet? And when you have a stargate on the planet, it's like a gateway, a portal into another dimension. And of course, it's like takes consciousness to do it. Now, actually, let me look that up, you guys. Sorry. USG. And I know that I live next to a Stargate. Like, it's a few hundred miles away because I'm in Arizona. It's in Arizona, around the Sedona area, which I've been out there. I went with a friend and I was like, what? Oh my, OMG. It was powerful energy there. Very spiritual community. You'll see a lot of tourists in Sedona. Oh, come on. Okay, because it's like science fiction, right? But these beings like the Anunnaki and the reptilians, they've created these technologies on Earth, and they've done things to our planet even. And this is ancient, so it's 25,000 years ago. They've artificially affected the particle spin of the Earth, and they reversed it. They managed to reverse our... It's not getting us a search. I thought I had this in my notes, you guys. It's hard to look. I guess I'll just put Universal Stargate. Universal. Because that's how these beings get here. They use Stargates, and they actually have wars over Stargates and take over Stargates. Sometimes we'll get them back, sometimes they'll take them back. Machiwa. And I talk about the Stargates, but the Universal Stargates are kind of a trip. And I don't want to spend all night on this. Sorry, guys. Oh, come on. There's galactic, planetary, and universal Stargates. And so if they're trying to get from one dimension or one density, there's a whole route. And so if they ever have an opportunity to take over a gate, you know, I used to play this game called Master of Orion or EVE Online, these kind of games. You're aware of this. You're aware of star systems and alien races, and that you take... These beings are using gates. They're gating, not using warp speed. I mean, this is the movies. No, we used it's multidimensional technology. They're using gates and portals, and there's a whole network already built. There's massive portal networks, stargates, connecting through, like planets and suns and galactic stargates and universal stargates, and you would need the DNA. You would need to literally to have the DNA to go to those levels. And that's what ascension is. Like right now, you couldn't just go through a gate and go through. Let's say you made it through a fifth dimensional stargate, you would be destroyed. Your body, if you're not 5D activated, realize you. And besides, the humans on Earth are not immortal, obviously. So since we're not immortal, generally speaking, if you cannot walk through the gate without being destroyed, you would have to have assistance. You would need to be able to deal with an actual, this is talked about, and some of you are not going to have to die because there's some of you are very close to your activations, and that these beings, through like when all the chaos is happening, if there's some type of end time, well, these beings will be helping their guardians, and you would be receiving telepathic communications before this would even happen. Some of you may be being contacted, and even you guys who are alien human, Anunnaki hybrids, you're also being contacted. You're also seeing some dark stuff. You're connecting to some like those type of energies of the control system. Does that sound familiar? A lot of the powerful people on the planet are into this dark stuff. They praise Satan, right, and Lucifer or whatever, and so these powers, these principalities, these alien beings, multidimensional beings, Anu Elohim, Omicron Draconian, okay, these beings are Chewakaya, coming in saying they're your god. So now all of a sudden these ETs are not ETs, they're gods. They're creator gods. Now, if they showed up in their spaceship thousands of years ago to those people, it would be gods, So they actually did come. Gods, aliens, multidimensionals, they have come before the galactic quarantine. Earth has this quarantine. You would say the system has a quarantine. So, Wakaye Mosultas. Before, in those millions of years, thousands of years, because we have different timelines. Some of those are millions of years ahead. And the humans are at least, the Earthseed humans are at least 560 million years old. If you're a guardian, indigo child, starseed, well, you're coming in here with higher DNA. And so there is a lot of confusion in the New Age movement, and it's actually the Anunnaki, the Necromatons, and the Draconians who are giving you spiritual religions and giving you, you would say, all of this New Age nonsense that is very believable. You are an indigo child who's experiencing psychic perceptions, for the most part, some of you are, and you're being driven to find out what this is all about. And you might get trapped into this reverse teachings of ascension. These are being run by the Anunnaki. Understand? Like Galactic Federation. They're the ones giving you Archangel Michael, an Anunnaki race. This is what the Guardian point of view is, you guys. This is what, and you guys will ask for source. Okay, here's the source, because I'll always say it once out of respect, and people want to know anyways. It's coming from Ashiana Dean, or Iasha Ashana. Okay, and she's the speaker. She's the speaker of this information and the author of the Voyagers books and mini workshops. So if you're interested in the advanced stuff or even the beginner stuff at the Voyagers material, check it out. Ashiana Dean. So much respect to her. I love you, Holy One. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Because now we are part of this. Some of you are part of this. So we talk about all these spiritual concepts, and some of them are about these alien races. that are part of our drama, which is a spiritual drama, a multidimensional drama. We don't just talk about the spirit stuff, we talk about the science stuff, unified field, and the dimensions, densities, matter forms. These are times, in relation to our point of view, those are different. Those are farther in the future. They're coming from way up high. It's a super high future, billions of years. They're in the future billions of years. Now, some of the lower ETs, in like in the density 2 universe, these beings are coming in from like 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. So, you would have an Anu Elohim incarnate its consciousness, its soul, into an Anunnaki, its child race. What do you think we're doing? Alright? We're actually density 2 beings. We're a soul having an incarnate experience, but many incarnate experience at once. Kind of like joining some like super high tech virtual reality, where you can actually do all this on a computer like at the same time. Basically what's going on, you're living many lives simultaneously. It's kind of a misnomer to say past and future lives. Past lives, future lives, because it's all not really past or future, it's all simultaneous. But you would say, while we're talking about the matrix, we're in the matrix, well, it is relative in the matrix point of view. But just remember in the back of your mind, this is a hologram. It always has been, always what will be a hologram, and it's parts of God coming in, and some of it becoming dark, like the Anunnaki, like the Omicron. These beings chose with their free will to fall, and they don't want to come back. They can if they want. They can choose to bring back. Remember, they cut off their 12 strand. They want it back. They have to bio-regenerate their DNA. DNA regenesis through a host matrix. They're going to approach the guardians and ask for this host matrix, and they have to agree to the terms of living as an indigo type 3 child with this Orifeme to tutor it. So we are part of this. Some of you are part of that process. If you're an indigo 3, you're probably having a very traumatic life, because as an indigo 3, you guys are dealing with two souls in one body. One is very dark and one is very good. So you can tell this giant change in your polarity in a moment, in an instant. You can suddenly just be a little devil. Wakoye. See these holy beings. Some of you relate to the Anunnaki. Some of you love the reptilians. And that's okay. Alright? We don't judge you. We're law of one. We just talk about the guardian's point of view of when you're trying to serve light. You need to know what light does. I'm following law of one. You're all is one, all is God. How does that type of being think, and what does that kind of thing do? Well, we service to others. Everyone's serving everyone with love. Service to others instead of service to self. Only service to self. Sorry, whoa. You have to have like understanding that is taking service to self, service to me. But in a society that's law of one and all are one, you're loving all are loving you. Everyone you see, if everyone you saw starts loving you and being wonderful to you and kind and respectful to you, can you imagine this society? But we have beings like this just on your ass, basically just always getting the human spirit into some darkness, into some distortion. These beings are vampires, man, and they're race supremacists themselves, and because they think they're the superior race, right? So people on Earth think they're superior in one way or another. So we treat others not law of one. That's not law of one. That's not a loving being, loving consciousness. That's a, whoa, dark consciousness. So we're like learning once again what we can do with this Christ consciousness coming in here. Sochima Sayamakaya. So these beings, after they fell and they created the Anunnaki, because the guardians created the indigo children. Because we created the indigo children, they created the Anu Elohim, created the Anunnaki. And their main mission, the Anunnaki, they're called Avengers. They're the Avengers of Anu. That's their name. Anu. Remember, their original name was Anu. Once they fell, they didn't want that name, because it's the guardians, it's the ones who did not fall, who are called. So they wanted to be separate from the ones who did not fall. So there's good Anu, probably in those higher realities, of course, and then there's fallen Anu Elohim, because they were once part of Elohai. Elohai, felon that fell, are Elohim. So we have this holy beings that fell, and now they're against the Christos, because they were once part of the Christos, once part of the Christ consciousness, the Christos race. They were once part of us, but then they fell. Now they're against us. That's why you say against the Christos, against Christ, 12th dimensional consciousness. They're against the 12th dimensional consciousness, the Christ consciousness. That's what we call it. 12th dimensional consciousness. It has to do with 12 strands of DNA. They don't want you to have your 12th strand of DNA. Then you would be more powerful than them, because they're 11 strand. Remember, that's their Templar. That's their potential, maximum cap potential. We don't have that cap. We can ascend. They don't. They're phantoms. They don't have this available to them unless they bioregenerate. This is the horrible consequence of the phantom. So code, I'm not sure how to say that. Cat Dave, I guess. Dave, I'll say Dave. Try bring up abducted when you're in a dream state. Not sure if they were helping me or not, but having Ob is scary and exciting. Oh, out of body experience. Yeah, I had like a transcendent out of body experience, so I know how amazing it is. Yes, that's a good affirmation, Andrew. I'm an omnidimensional immortal being. Makaya. State which you are, holy ones. I thought millions. Right. Dystopia in the house. This? Yeah, we'll freak out on some of these experiences, man. You know, we'll have like a initial reaction of fear, but then you start learning about protection, and you realize that you're a guardian being, and that you have the power, you have the ability to protect yourself, Holy One. And we teach the Maharic Shield technique, and that is meant to like be part of this guard, part of your guard, part of your, like, you would say you're a superhero suit. Put yourself in a pillar of light, liquid light. See it vividly. Every day, twice a day. So it's a real clear, like if you closed your eyes, you should be able to see yourself bathed in a pillar of Maharata energy. And even go farther and imagine your body, your hands, and get used to like seeing in your mind, like you're looking at your own face, looking at you. So you see your face your own face in front of you, standing close or whatever next to you. And so you can see your face now. You're looking at your face. You don't have to look in a mirror because you got your eyes closed. You imagine it on this movie in front of, like your forehead. There's a movie screen. That's where you're going to see this. Machiwa Katsis. Makaya. Energy, consciousness. Amosu. But we had this races basically come at different time periods, you would say, as far back as Atlantis and Lemuria. So they were mostly, at the beginning, it was the Anunnaki. And then it was like, that was, we would say, the first seeding of the human race. Remember, we've had 3. We're on the 3rd one. The first one got destroyed, and it was the Anunnaki. And then the second time we got destroyed, it was because of the Draconians. And seeding 2, we got the Draconians and the Anunnaki on our asses. But according to Ashana, it's mostly Draconians in power now. In this time period. So the dragons are getting their foothold, you would say. So we have these drama with all kinds of beings, right? But this is the one that we're talking about tonight. And these beings have been thought of as good. When you start talking about the Marduk, Anunnaki, and people think it's good, or they think Enki is good, but you saw that these are aliens, like totally like different. They don't look like us, except for the Palladian ones, because like there's nice Palladians, but there's dark ones too, and these dark ones are the ones that sort of that they look the most human. And so they obviously choose, like they're geneticists, man. They in their advanced technologies, they're making these. They're altering their DNA. Like you are thinking about clones and shit. Well, these beings are just creating what they want. It's not a clone. They make the DNA. They're you call them creator gods because they create races. The ones above you can create races in our reality, and they have ones above them who create beings in their reality. So you have higher races who are creating lower races, lower dimensions. Like a 6th-dimensional being can create a 5th-dimensional being, and some of these 5th-dimensional beings can create lower 4th-dimensional beings. This is they have this technology. And then you learn what a soul is. You learn how it works with the planet, how you go to the core of the planet. You have your morphogenetic field, you have your human race morphogenetic field, then you have your individual morphogenetic field, but you're both the human and the race, a collective of the human. And then you would say the collective consciousness, you can connect to that collective consciousness. So it's the same with the dark ones, like the Anunnaki. They can connect. They're developing their magic. They're developing their spiritual abilities too. They're just doing it in a different vibration, right? So it's a spiritual war amongst their people and our people. So if you're living on a planet, and some of them are not only human, that changes the whole game. When you realize that as a race, that the planet is inhabited by a bunch of half human, half aliens, and that we're describing dark ones. I mean, you're intended to be dark. Now, I want to say as a caveat, some of you dark ones are remembering are changing your mind. You want to know how to heal or go back to light. Some of you at least want to change because you're tired of the darkness, because some of these beings are trying to use you like puppets. And so obviously these are wicked beings calling themselves Luciferians, and which doesn't come from Earth. You think it's everyone thinks they know something about this Bible characters, but it's not. it's alien characters, like not even far from us. We're talking about within our solar system. Remember, we talked about different planets. What do you think this asteroid belt is, you guys? Well, that's a broken planet. That's pieces of it in orbit. Isn't it obvious? Why is there broken pieces of rock there? It's a planet. Put it together. What do you got? You know, like Play-Doh, put it together. Put all the asteroid pieces together. Oh, wow, look. So, Marduk. It's a huge freaking planet, Marduk. It was before. It got, you know, they like to destroy planets. Planets can get destroyed. And that means everything that was alive on that, you know. So can you imagine when they tried to do this to Lemuria? Something got destroyed and fell in its consciousness. A whole bunch of beings got destroyed and disembodied. You didn't think that's possible. How can it happen? It's a creation of God. Well, it's part of the Matrix hologram. They can be up here. Some disaster like that brought them through a lower density. They fell, literally. That's what we are down here. Well, this is a rescue mission. We're trying to get those souls back, collecting them, bringing them back to ability to get a body. Like we have to bring in them the body. Disembodied spirits need a body to continue to get out. It's kind of off topic, but it's the same when you have a miscarriage, or not a miscarriage, an abortion or something. That gets stuck in your fields. So until your next life even, until you have another baby, and then it will push that one out. So this is explained in some of the workshops of Ashiana, so I just thought that was interesting because these beings have some work to do. So this is a situation where part of us are actually here to help them. Some of us are here to help these fallen beings, and like the Anunnaki who are incarnating here, right, into the human Anunnaki being DNA. They're able to come and live a life here and mingle with us. Wow, what's up, buddy? Hey, some of you can see them. You'll suddenly see, wow, was that a lizard eye? Was that a lizard face? Whoa, you know, the Draco. They're reptilians, hello. Some of them are giant. They're pretty big and scary because a lot of the, like Draco ones, you would say the Omicron reptilians, a lot of those are very stocky and muscular. But there's a thinner one. The Adedicrons are thinner, but these are like half bird, half reptile. You just described a gargoyle. So these beings have some wings because of the bird race. So the Omicrons are very interesting because that's where we get a lot of our angel stories and fallen angel stories. Like, you know, you'll see these beings in this video game, World of Warcraft. and they like screech and you gotta kill them very quickly. And don't forget the Dark Crystal movie. These Skeksis, you know, they're like part bird, part reptile. Kind of scary looking ones. And they had beings like that in World of Warcraft. It's pretty dark, dude. I mean, that game, because they do like one of the whole expansions was about these witches and warlocks, and you had to go into a dark forest, and they had like all kinds of black magic going on in that storyline. That whole expansion is all about witchcraft. Dark Crystal. I know, it's a kid movie, right? It was freaking dark. Remember? The little podling, the Skeksis is taking its essence, and it was said it with such pleasure as it did it. Look it up. Just put Dark Crystal Skeksis, Skeksis, podling, or maybe essence. Yeah, put podling essence. And it's the Dark Crystal, Jim Henson, dude. And he's taking the freaking soul, the essence. It's dripping into an elixir. And then the freaking creature drinks this freaking... Oh my gosh! What does that tell you right there? They drink the podling, which is it looks like a little child. Oh wow, what a coincidence. And then they're taking the essence, and then this creature, which is a reptilian, is drinking it, and gets younger. A children's story by Jim Henson. You should see what Disney puts out. But I don't want to be political conspiracy theory, but you know. I liked it too, right? We all like Dark Crystal, but you understand the undertones? It's more interesting when you go back and watch it and you see this stuff. It's like, wow, if that's there, what else was there? Because, you know, what about Labyrinth? Sarah, the whole movie starts with a bunch of demons in her freaking room. And of course you got David Bowie dancing with these demons and around a little girl. And there's a scene in there where this demon creature with all these demons is taking Sarah, and she's a young girl, but he's dancing with her all romantic, and she's all got makeup on, and wow. Don't forget the Blue Lagoon when that girl, she was only Brooke Shields. She was a minor in that movie. So, anyways, much you look what about all these little pop stars who came out of Disney. Look what these musicians represent in this world. Yeah. So we're talking about Anunnaki and reptilians. There you go. Snakes, lizard people, dragons. Okay? So, and then the Anunnaki are no better. So we got all these different things coming in our history. You know, look at Quetzalcoatl. What is that? A winged reptile. Oh, once the Mayans were good, now they're not. I mean, you understand? They were taken over. Look at the Aztecs. They cut off people's heads on top of the pyramids. Very ritual, very wicked. And this is normal to them. No big deal. Take someone's life. No problem. Give offering. You throw some little ones in there. So this is pretty wicked. These are alien beings, man. Fallen angels. Now you see why we call them this? These are dark, malevolent beings who come into your world with things that you have no idea. Obviously, some people don't. Notice that these beings there's gargoyles on buildings that are fancy and exotic and big, and churches, and got all the symbols, and whoa. Wow, look there. So, there is this spiritual war, and some of you, as light workers, indigo children, we're dealing with the Anunnaki. We're dealing with the dragons. The world is dealing with them. But we're the guard against them. Like, we're peaceful, we're protective and love. They're not. They're against that. It's kind of like if a castle is being under siege, the castle has a guard. We're meant to guard those who can't protect themselves. Remember, this is through conscious awakening. Some of you, some of us are awakening. Machiwa. Yeah, Kaima. So, guard, shining light, shine your light. You call yourself light? Ariana Bolt, cobras everywhere. Yes, many cobras, snakes, reptiles, shapeshifters. Motoya. And you know, when you talk about the Sumerian gods, like the picture of the video, they're being shown as like beings with wings. You know, when you see this, wings, well, not always, because I was about to say that means draconian, but remember, angels have wings, so some of those beings are blue flame. Not all angels have wings, though, by the way. So, but some of that DNA is coming from the gold fly, the gold flame. And so a lot of our insects in our planet are coming from the gold flame. Excuse me. Remember, they're coming from the hollow fields. So we're going to get different races being created on the planet. But some of them are introduced to us in the past. Machiwa. Enlightened One, Star Wars was based on the real Orion Wars. Look at you, Holy One. You can think about that one for a while, right? Bowie was Labyrinth. Yeah, I was talking about Labyrinth, yeah. Labyrinth, and that's the one that had all the little demon creatures. And it looks cute and stuff, but they got some pretty... These one creatures were taking off their heads and stuff, and they look very like demons, you would say. So they portray them looking different than any other creature. This is a demon. They want to introduce you demon energy, demonic things, into a children's story. And you know, there's this deleted scene from Snow White where the witch, she's stirring a pot and she's pouring poison into the pot, and then she takes a vial and she dips it and she's got the poison. She's doing this ritual, and you see little skeletons come out like in the smoke. It's very dark, right? But this is... And the witch is all, yeah, like this over. And so this is what we deal with here on Earth. We deal with this kind of consciousness. And they're, the ones in the know, the ones in power, are using magic. So Guardians use this life force energy to manifest and make changes in the hologram. Well, they're going to use darkness. So you have to conflict ahead of us. It's not like we want it, but we have to deal with it, because this planet, Earth, is in attack mode, right? This is a spiritual war, and it's ancient, and some of us are meant to do something while we're here. Machiwa. How do we talk to the ones in power? The dark ones? Well, I guess you would go up to those places of power and approach them if you want to. If you're talking about the light power, they're not going to be like this in the earth making these governments and stuff. You're talking about beings that would be not interfering with free will. See, the dark beings don't care. They don't give a crap about your free will. They will go against the original intention of God. When he created, when God created this, Ascended Masters created this, it was under the Emerald Covenant that all are to be. It was a free will system. They agreed on the terms of that, and so some of the beings use their free will to go dark. That's what it is. It's not like right or wrong. It's God saying, "What's up? I'm dark, and what?" So part of God is dark. It's all God. Maria, some people will say that's blasphemy. Yes, he has a website, a blog, same name. Maria, yeah, that's new, you guys. I just did the blog today, so my website's changing in the next 24 or 48 hours. It should be shifted all over and looking proper. And there's only like 6 articles, but I'm going to be, now that it's, the hard part is putting it all together. The technical side, building a website, it's hard. I mean, it's complex, it can be complex. And then you've got to do it correctly so it gets like ranked successfully, right? Yeah, join my Patreon as Shining Light. Thank you, Shining Light. You guys can always join, and I will be offering now the diagram. I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to be on my site. I think you have to be a member. I had told you guys that before, that it would possibly be taken down for, because it's worth something. It's a lot of time and energy, and we're able to like benefit from tools. Anything that helps us, right? And I did a poll once, and I think some of you said I should do that. So, but some of you already got a copy of it, so at least one of the versions. But I will always be referring to it and offering it, so don't worry. Machiwa. And yeah, you guys can join the Patreon. There's a join link below, or you can join YouTube one. It's a little bit different. You get to see your name in green and the star. But the Patreon also, if you want to do one-on-one, I can offer it there. So take a look, you guys. And if you get anything out of this, or my website, check that out and read some of the articles. Or you can contact me on Facebook, Gmail. It's in the description, or Instagram. And check out my Instagram while you're there, because some of them, it's my highest. You would say most people are on like 45,000 are on subscribers as of today, which is just gonna keep growing, it seems like. So I'm here, you guys. If you need some help in your healing, contact me, reach out. Also, thank you guys for the ones who are members. Thank you so much, Shining Light. Look at you. And on my Patreon, thank you guys. And we got a community growing in chat. I mean, you guys can, it's a Discord server. You can come and leave your messages and share your questions and answers. So, Machiwa. Yeah, baby. Coaches. So, the Anunnaki Reptilians are a big deal. It's part of our spiritual drama. It's part of what's going on after that falling part. I mean, it's just all the things they've done throughout history. They have a very bad track record, man. They've done things with you would say modern time too, with the world wars. Something like Pearl Harbor is a big example. These beings were here and messing with us. And same with something going on in Philadelphia. Some experiment in Philadelphia. Something experiment in Montauk. They make portals. They make ways for these beings to come in, and they're much more intelligence than most humans. So it's kind of like, wow, we need some assistance, right? So this is what some of this knowledge and realization, you could use within your Maharic shield, use your interdimensional communication. Make awareness, make contact with this consciousness, not channel without protection, realize you're connecting to your own avatars. You're connecting to your own soul, your own oversoul, not something outside yourself, something inside. God is not outside. I know we're conditioned to think that, to believe that, to think that we must get some type of approval from our Creator. When you are this being, this Creator God concept is a trick. It's a lie from these fallen ones. They're the ones duping you. Some people, not all, but they're actually, lower than human. Human, and the indigos are much even higher than this, because we're talking about most humans being only 3 strands, trying to go to 4 strand, right? But indigos have a Templar that can go to 24 strand, 36 strand, 48 strand. So now they don't come in with that activated. You can't come into 3rd dimension with 24 strands activated. I mean, Christ, this being that was called Jesus, is a 48 strand indigo. Jesus, Sananda, Melchizedek. And this is part of the information coming from the Guardians. But he didn't come in here with that activated. Now, he was the last 12-dimensional avatar on the planet. But nowadays, we're going to be having these baby avatars come in. And so, there's going to be a wave of avatars, high-level beings coming in. And so, realize, if you're indigo, you're coming from this same race line as Jesus. So that's a big honor to know that we're bringing in that Christ consciousness, and this is what happens, or this is how we make a change in our planet, in the human condition, because the human spirit is in this spiritual war, man. We got to make this change within ourselves. Each one of you have to do your task of completing your DNA strand. It requires work, and I know you can do it. And if you feel like maybe you're part Anunnaki, become part of this team, man. You'll be in the healing community. We have amongst us some of people who are fallen, admittedly recovering, you would say, Anunnaki, recovering reptilians. That's why I talk about them. We're meant to meet some of you and help in healing together. So, and the consciousness on Earth will be changing with us. We're trying to get as much awakened as possible. Allah. Thank you for the positive vibes, Holy One. Enlightened One. Patreon is one way of donating money to his channel. Thank you, Holy One. Yeah, that's one way. Oh yeah, if you look in the description of my video, it's already there. Just look below in the description of the video. There's a link to Patreon. Thank you, Holy One. Miss Lady. Redemption for even the fallen. You said it, Holy One. That's right. In those dogmas, they don't forgive, and they say you're gonna be in the lake of fire. These beings will someday return to source, but right now they're not. So they're in this path. They've chosen a path of chaos, which leads them to it's a destiny of sorrow. Versus what the guardian angel goes through, a being who's serving the guardians, law of one, they go through the path of order. So it's chaos versus order. It's not even order versus chaos, because we're not trying to fight, but we're forced to guard. And as a matter of fact, you're not going to see like the spaceships of guardians generally speaking, you know, the highly evolved ones, they're not going to be destroying things in warfare. They're going to be using defensive technologies that are quite powerful. I saw one of these Star Trek Generation TV shows or series show, and they met an advanced race of beings, like on the Enterprise, and their own technology, and they were able to defensively, they pushed the spaceship, the Guardian spaceship, the Enterprise, they pushed it way out into another star system. They pushed it so far away, and they don't even, because no one got hurt, but they pushed them away so that they had to start going warp 9 just to catch up again. So Bright Flame in the house. Yeah, that's why we just mostly have like hippie stuff on there. They don't care. My content is here on my site. It's not on Patreon. Patreon has got some technique if you're into that. Nixo, what's going on, Holy One? Akachiwa. Thank you guys for coming here to learn about the Anunnaki. And I know there's probably some people who are like Zachariah Ascension fans. And, you know, all about this. He had like a whole series of books, man. And this is basically something to distract you, or you're getting like something kind of like a religion out of this. And we're not meant to do that. Some people, they start becoming spiritual, and then they think they're more holy or sanctified or more blessed, better. Or they start falling into the trap of thinking they're a chosen one. Like, that's what your higher, the Anu Elohim, will treat their Anunnaki. They're going to use them, but they're going to treat them like they're chosen ones. Like the dark illuminated ones, we call them, you know, on a dollar bill. Those beings, well, Machiwa, they're consider themselves chosen and better than all of you. Remember, they're the greatest race supremacist, the Anunnaki. They're not, they don't like anyone. The Jehovian ones are the worst. They don't even like the other Anunnaki, the hybrid Anunnaki. They think they're all mixed breeds. You know, they're not the true blood. So, but these are all dangerous races anyways, you know. It doesn't matter what the Jehovians think. But they're gonna, you know, we got those guys came from Vega originally. The reptilians. They were in Vega. And the bird people and the, you would say, insectoids, like the greys and Zephyr, the blue beings that are, and the praying mantis beings. So all those came out of the gold flame. And so some of you connect to that. I mean, I myself, I know that I must have some lives in the gold flame, because I feel like connected to like the praying mantis, which is an advanced race. It's an avatar race. If some of you are seeing the praying mantis, it's a positive thing. It's a good thing. But if it's not a praying mantis, it's iffy. A lot of those beings are fallen. Not all. You're gonna find good ones, but you would say, generally speaking, they're following a malevolent agenda. Either the reptilian Omicron one or the Luciferian one. These beings make covenants and pacts, and they make these alliances and to go against the guardians. And they use technologies. They use spaceships. They have Star Wars type of scenarios. And think about it. You as a human, you're living in those times. You're in a space period. You're in the etheric period. In Gaia, you're like spirits and stuff. We're all spirits, but you know, you don't have a body like the same anymore, and neither is the planet the same. You know, like you're like etheric spirits. You know how some beings live in water. Well, some beings live in the etheric realm, the celestial realms, and so that's where you're getting some of these beings that come to you in dreams and visions. And so, if once again, if you're one of these reptilians, you could be seeing all kinds of snake people and demons-looking people and creatures and things. Some of you might see the beetle people. If you can turn on your fourth strand astral vision, you can see them. You'll see them in other people as well. And you might even be healing them if you know how, right? So one of my goals is to eventually teach that, because I want to be teaching the Cathara healing without, you know, no legal problems. I just want to teach you guys how to heal with the knowledge. And so we are doing this together, guys. And this is a big deal because this is happening now with these races. Now. It's all part of the spiritual thing, and they're in power since ancient times, because it's all about acquiring control over others for them. And isn't it interesting how they've gotten us to be like that? We're like them. We're behaved like them. We have like codes like them. Because some of you are them. Understand? You actually were designed. I mean, I think to somebody that just seems too spectacular and impossible, that there's a lot of humans who aren't just only human. Well, this is exactly what's going on. But it's even dangerous, you would say, you know why some of the stuff is kept secret? Because you would use it for bad. Because then some of you would say, oh, that race in that country, those are the draconians. Then you would hate them. And we do, because that's the nature down here. So you have to be careful with that information. Because there are some that are coming straight out of those hybrids. Like a whole race of people. You can point your finger and say, that race is part of the Dracon matrix. But like I said, this planet is so low vibe. People are already making fun of your skin color. But if you're an alien, wow, they would start, that's how bad human consciousness can be. You guys would start going in crowds, like with pitchforks, like coming for Frankenstein, or whatever. He's trapped in the barn or trapped in the castle, and you're coming to go get him. Because he's different. What's you Akas. It's a spiritual war, man. Extraterrestrial, ancient aliens. You watching the History Channel? Ancient aliens? Some of that stuff is talking about reptilians. Some of them are talking about Anunnaki. Even the History Channel gets a Wikipedia message next to them. I can guarantee you my video has that right now. You got a nice little clip from Wikipedia about the Anunnaki, just so you can know. So just so you know who they are. Yeah. How much you Class, Holy One, you just became a member. All right. Thank you, class. We didn't mean to embarrass you. I guess it's set up to notify us if someone does it during a live. Thank you, Holy One. That's such a pretty green. You got a star, Christ. Yeah. I would look into Cathara healing. Does anyone actually know that? I haven't looked into it yet, of Ashiana's materials. Yes, it's awesome. And I'm learning, most of the knowledge from that, and it's teaching you sacred mechanics, and basically some of the information in Voyagers is outdated, but when you're learning Kalantic science or Kathara, these are universal concepts that you can take with you. They're not going to be outdated. So, but when it comes to date times or timelines or something happening, stuff happened like even before she wrote the Voyagers books, or during she wrote the Voyagers books, where some of those races had once agreed to the Emerald Covenant, and then they suddenly changed their mind, and they just like some of these Pleiadians, some of these Nibirians, they were going to come back to the good. But then on a certain time, it was actually a coalition with the dragons and the Anunnaki together, called the United Intruder Resistance. And so some of them went for it. They decided to back out of the Guardian agreements, and they fell again. So when that happened, and that's been 20 years ago, so that's changed more. So that's even come out in the latest information from Ashiana, which is like from 2016. So 2016 is basically the oldest, or the most recent information available on our website, so check it out. I talk a lot about those concepts. That's where all this information is coming from, because I met her in 2010, and I've been following her work and learning her work. Bright Flame. Christos avatar, shine, and I need it for physical body healing. Of course, Holy One. And realize also there's a Cathara 2, which helps. I believe I heard her say Cathara 2 can help you protect yourself against. Okay? They can protect you against these things. That's what I heard. Cathara 2, which is you got to first learn and understand Cathara 1. And then there's actually more advanced, Cathara 3 and Cathara 4. Cathara. Cathara. Machiwa. Kumokachimas. Makaya. Now, there is a paywall with some of Ashiana's work, so you have to make that choice within yourself. You can find it. Some of you can find it because it's no longer offered by her, but you could probably try to find it if you're persistent, because you know why this information is needed, and I will be doing my best to present this information through my blog, through my videos. I would do this full time for you guys. Literally, I can't even answer everyone's who writes me in social media, so I had to start, making services that help us all, and give a chance for us to it's like a group effort. It's not even about me or Ashiana, but we're bringing in this code, and some of you are part of it, and I feel like I'm following my path. I believe I was meant to do this stuff. I'm not perfect. I'm saying I'm a master, certainly. And notice I'm always giving you links, so that I'll probably even do that on my website, because I'm not trying to send people away from me. I'm just simply know inside my heart, I know this information is needed. So you guys can help me out, and we'll help each other out like this. It's like a partnership. It's kind of like some people have even I do, right? I have some video account. What is it? HBO Max. Because sometimes you like to watch movies. Well, you pay for that. It's a service that you like and want. Well, it's the same thing with your favorite content creator on YouTube even. You're getting something from this information, because it seems like some people are offended if when I'm simply thankful for the small gift of $5. Thank you so much, Holy Ones. And that's all you need to do. If you're called for more, some people are. So, other than that, I'm constantly going to be pushing out this information. Just here, take. Here we go. We need to awaken. Let's awaken. But sometimes, yeah, some things are for. It's a trade. You pay any serviceman, a construction worker, but a spiritual person is supposed to do everything for free. No, honey. Why? Where's that come from? Oh, yeah, religion. You must be poor. In religion, oh no, you must do everything free, or else you're not like in love, huh? So it's something that has value. It has value, my chihuahua. I'm still dependent. So it's not like I'm rich, right? I'm still dependent on family. And so I will reach my goals and I will be able to give you more value. That's what that's about, honey. You don't have to do anything. But those of you who have, thank you, Holy Ones. Thank you so much. Machu. So, this information about the Anunnaki, it's all going to be on my site. It's already in my videos, but I want to put that on my site too. You're going to have a whole section just on Anunnaki and about the different races like the Enlil Anunnaki, which are... Okay, let's start with the Enki Anunnaki. Those are the insectoid draconian mixed with Anunnaki. So that's what Enki is. Did I just say? Yeah, insectoid. Insectoid snake. These guys are insectoid reptilian snakes. Nice creature. So they don't appear to you like that, right? So they can shapeshift. Some of these beings shapeshift. And they are incarnate in the flesh anyways with human hybrid DNA. So they have abilities to operate down here. And so I'll be talking about those. And there's a Anunnaki race called Mammalian Anunnaki, which is on that diagram. And the creatures are just so freaking, scary, you would say. Scary looking. That's where we get vampires. That's what your concept of demons is coming out from these scary looking creatures, man. Even like the chupacabra is a scary looking little creature. Look what it does. That's one of those hybrid creature things. That's actually made from a human animal DNA and a Nibirian animal DNA. They mixed it. Now they got some nice, lovely creature called a chupacabra. And you know that this Sasquatch, or it's like called different names. Maybe the abominable snowman or Bigfoot. Well, this is a being that's a guardian race. It's actually very sensitive, though, super sensitive, and it had to be moved to fourth dimension. The Guardians took that race to the fourth dimension, but this is coming in and out of our realities, or they're very psychic. They're very sensitive. Usually being children with hypersensitive perception, or whatever they call it, HS. Well, this is a type of person who's probably very psychic, or an empath. Sensitivity. You're very sensitive. Notice they call it extrasensory, like you're a sensitive person. You can perceive beyond normal perception. And it's a malady or a problem. So you can perceive more than most. So, my chihuahua. Thank you for joining my live, you guys. And we do talk about these aliens a lot, not just from Orion. Because remember, you came from Vega and went to Orion, and the guardians were from Armentana, but they went to Sirius. So, but not everything from Sirius, you would say Sirius A and Sirius B, not everything is good from those planets. So, but this is where our Lyran ancestry went. So we actually have a combination of Lyran, Sirin, and Uhazi. Remember, that's the cat people, but they came to a new planet with their people. And because of what happened to our planet, it got destroyed. So it's like when Vader showed Princess Leia that he was going to destroy her homeworld in front of her. So anyways, destroying a planet is pretty wicked because there's a bunch of life there. Hello. Maybe all of it can't escape. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened in Sumerian gods. But that's just one age, you guys. These Anunnaki have been coming in. The Draconians have been coming in for ages. And we're going to be coming out with this on my channel. So you want to subscribe. You definitely into this type of information. Because we talk about all of those history lines going through the ancient Egypt. What happened to the Hindus. What happened to, India. And how they were infiltrated in different time periods. And what all of this stuff like Knights Templar and even modern history and what's really with Iraq, what's really with Israel. I'm not political, but we talk about it from a spiritual point of view. You realize what is the Vatican? Okay, what is these dark illuminated ones? What are they really? Okay, so first of all, they're not even human only. They're part human. These beings are part extraterrestrial, some of them dragon, some of them Anu. So you're like getting invaded. You're being ruled by. You've seen this movie, They Live. There's a bunch of human-looking beings. Oh, now you see. They're not all human only. So, They Live is cute, it's nice, but it's not the full understanding. The full understanding is, it's not an illusion, it's actually it's got to realize that these beings, not all are aware of it. Not all of them are in communication. They were putting the little communicators up to talk. Not all of them know they're Anunnaki hybrid. Not all of them know they're Draco human hybrid. They don't know this. Just like an indigo child, this holy indigo, some of you coming in, starseeds, empaths, light workers. Well, you don't know until you wake up. So some don't wake up. And actually, some of you indigos starts, getting into the darkness. Maybe at the beginning, but if you keep on falling to darkness, honey, you're like going to get your own covenant. You have a commission. So when you start changing that and messing around, wow. But that's what those dark beings do. They don't care about that kind of stuff. Can you guys take care of that guy? Oh, I don't have a moderator, right? It doesn't look like I have a moderator. Sorry, guys. I guess it's up to me. What is this? Hide user? Put user in timeout? Or... I think if I push report... Childhood? I can't say that. Hate speech, harassment, misinformation. That's nice. Pornography. Oh yeah. Pornography. Now get this guy out of here. Is he gone? He's gone. Oh, sorry, Isabel. I didn't. You guys don't always have to be here. Don't worry. There's no stress. That's why I actually have 3 moderators now. So you don't worry about it. It's no big deal. I catch it. I'll catch it when it's obvious. Some people are so dumb, right? I guess they rely on getting some of you to go check out some naked pictures. Amachiwa. Well, for the most part, they don't make it through, but they find ways to get through. Notice he had to talk like a person and use emojis and shit. Alright, sweetie. We will. Thank you. Vanessa. Yeah, so this is what you call... Well, you can see them, right? You see them and they're like... appear as human. And what happens is that when a guardian, like an indigo, is psychic, they will see a reptilian face, or they can learn how to see, or they'll just develop into it. Some of us have seen that in people. Even my dad saw it. I know I've seen it. Some of you have seen lizard people, lizard eyes. It's a big topic. There's a lot of people who talking about seeing reptilians in people. It's not just some new age concept. I mean, a lot of people have seen and described the famous presidents and people, celebrities who are actually not just human. There is some truth to this, man. So, yeah, you can see them. They're right there. Look. So some people look. They see them. They're here. And some of them do know. Most likely the ones in power know. The ones who don't know are still figuring it out, or don't figure it out, or they're just confused in life. Just have a dark life or something. So, but there's also beings who are using psychic abilities. Okay, they're multidimensional, just like you, but they happen to be higher than you. So they use their multidimensional psychic abilities to mess with you. Just like you can mess with somebody in this level. These people don't have to believe in spirits or astral traveling or out of body experience. They don't have to believe it. Because we experience it without them believing it. They don't need to believe. Certainly most humans on the planet don't believe in paranormal or supernatural or God even, or angels or spirits or ghosts or demons or aliens or UFO. They don't believe in that kind of stuff. They think people who do are crazy or something's wrong with their mind or something, right? So they're not awakened. They're not evolving. At least the dark beings are evolving like us. They're looking up stuff like black magic and casting spells, and they're looking up different type of spiritual knowledge. But they understand that because they too have chakra open. Some dark Jedi, dark psychic, dark witch, whatever, they can have powers too. So they will go against free will. We won't. Why do you think the guardians don't come and save you? Why do you think they don't intervene in? Because with their powerful technologies, they could come on in and try to stop everything. But they know that the darkness always does things to try to do it, so they won't do that. And that would be against free will. Okay? You can't come in here and save someone. So this is a distortion. It's against free will. That's one of the hardest things to understand about Law of One. That you don't, not only is everyone God, just remember the other part of that is you don't go against someone's free will. That's why I say the first thing, well, it's right next to fear and guilt. Fear, guilt, judgment. Hello. What do you think that is? Fear, guilt, judgment. Which side is that? The light side or the dark side? I mean, that's the top qualities of darkness. And you're saying it's coming from a light being, a holy being. No, that's an unholy being. That's a very dark being. Because of guilt, fear, and judgment. Right there. That's darkness. Oh, unconditional love? all are equal and the same, that's light. That is a whole different type of consciousness. A whole different type of God, right? So, we're like learning this, remembering this. Some people are. Isabel, when I went outside, I didn't notice, but he was literally standing right next to me and staring at me. Oh, I missed your whole story. So when you were 16, there was this energy guy, or this creepy guy, that had these like hazel light brown looking eyes, and his hair and skin was the same color as his eyes, and he was following me around the grocery store. Light Jedi. Jedi of Light. Skywalker. That's interesting, Isabel. What a trip. That would give you some goosebumps. Has anyone ever heard of the New Order of the Jedi? Dragon Knights? I haven't. Wait, did I say that right? Orgonites. Orgonites. I haven't heard of that. But when you start saying knights, it makes me think of Knight Templar. Machiwa. Owlstar. Interesting. Greetings, Holy One. Karate Dave. Are those blue blockers, Damien? Blue blockers? No, it's just cheap glasses that help me see. I have these have been broken for a while. They're pathetic. I mean, they could easily fall apart, and I have to put them together and put it together. But right now I've got used to holding them real carefully. So eventually I'll be able to take care of those things. Brian Ewok sounds like an Ewok. Interesting. That sounds like the Men in Black. You start seeing these shadows with red eyes. Those are the Men in Black. You might even see that, do some searches about that. People usually see them with red glowing eyes, which are what? The Omicron. Dragon Moth. No, I made a mistake. It's the Necromaton. That's the Necromaton, the black Men in Black. So there's like 99 different races that I talk about that are part of this drama, but certainly there's much more out there, right? I mean, I've heard of elephant people, like hominids, elephant hominids. I mean, some of these gods are part jackal. Look at Anubis. Part vulture. Part ibis. Part something or another. The more parts, the more weirdness, I guess, the higher level. What do you think some of these archangels look like? Cheeky Light, I've seen shadow spirits. Yeah, you would call that a variant, right? Isn't that interesting? They named something like that from these fallen angelics. The high-level fallen angelics. All of these entities are usually high-ranking officials in the 3D. Yes, that's what their system is about. It's about hierarchy. It's about authority. It's part of their control system. That's what we're in. Can you see any free nation where people don't have this? There's not many, right? Not even America. Did you know that? I mean, it's part of the Voyagers. Do you want to know who's responsible for creating an America? That's controversial because we're Americans. What do you mean? What's wrong? I'll give you the page number. Matsitas machikeohana. Amasitas. What? 114 results. The real founding of America. Spiking out the territory. New world. We're not the only ones who want this new world. America was founded by the Luciferian Hyksos Knights Templar Anu Melchizedek, illuminated ones, who now go by the name of Free Masons, on behalf of Galactic Federation and Pleiadian Nibirian Anunnaki races of the 9560 Luciferian Covenant. Okay, so we talk about these things, and so there's a lot of, you would say, politics that in some of the wars we've been in, is the Guardians talk to us about this stuff. Okay, so let me ask you that question again. Is there a free place in his world? Makaya. So we love, we bring love, this knowledge of the Guardians, we bring this spiritual awakening, we bring this ascension. We don't stop being light, we don't stop being law of one. We're like, this is who we are. This is our consciousness. It's light, it's love. No matter what has happened, no matter where you are, no matter your circumstances, you feel some connection to these angelic nations, the guardian angelic nations, or do you feel some connection to the fallen stuff? You like authority, you like control, you like having inequality, you like, this is a different polarity. You see, this is vampirism. These are beings who are siphoning off of others' energies. Not when you're loving and kindness, friendliness, respect. That's different consciousness than, oh, I am your master, I am your lord, I am Muachiwa. It's all this system of wakatsi, gluttony and power and money and sex and jakaye. Gluttony, right? Just can't get enough. Oh, a millionaire is not enough. Oh, billionaire, trillionaire, quadrillionaire. It's not enough. It's never enough. Okay? Huh? There's no quadrillionaires, Steven. Oh, yeah? Quadrillionaire? Trillionaire? You should see what some of these corporations make in 1 year. Check it out. How much is it? What's the highest money or whatever? You know how to make some search. So, when we talk about these things in the earth, what's going on in our drama, right? Well, these are coming from aliens called Anunnaki and reptilians, draconian. These beings are even competing in each other in the political arena. That's a false choice. Do you want to choose between the right or the left party? Oh, you mean Anunnaki or the reptilians? Which one? Which one? Well, which one's in power now? The dragons or the Anu? Okay, so they're both gangsters, dude. I was in Ukraine for years, and most of my friends told me about how their own president was in prison and stuff. So, it was kind of like corruption rules the day. So, apparently it attracts dark beings. It's dark beings who want control. Guardians, good people, light people, love people, they just want to be free and not be not be controlled. Not what being wants to be manipulated and controlled and dominated and live life in fear of them. These beings use fear. They use guilt. Hello. Fear, guilt, subservience. You're a sinful, inferior human. Women are down here because they came out of the godly male. Oh yeah? You have blind worship, surrogate gods, not the god, it's not a god, surrogate gods, extraterrestrial beings in another dimension of reality. They call themselves this, dark ones, they're doing dark things. If you don't want to call them an angel, then don't, okay? But they're a dark alien. They're messing with your food and water and your air. And your DNA and your spiritual religions and belief systems. Most of them are following what we just mentioned: fear, guilt, judgment, and avenging, wrath, hatred. I'm trying to find a god. Maybe some of you can tell me some gods who are actually just love. No war connection, no death connection, no judgment connection. Is there a god that is, oh yeah, they call that the Unisai. That's what we call all beings connecting to one being. Let me do the next search on America. This is especially true in America, where most military personnel, even the highest ranks, honestly still believe that the USA is a democracy that would willingly give their lives to defend. All global nations since the 1930s has been covertly and progressively compromised and absorbed by the covert big brother Zeta Regalian, Dracon world management team. What even most conspiracy theorists do not yet realize is that at the top of this corruption there exist fallen angelic intruder ET masterminds who have, I'm not going to keep reading those keywords. Just understand there's true wickedness in your religions, in your politics, and in your history. It is being dominated by it. And why they can't just take over anytime they want is because the humans aren't the only ones here with us. They're not alone. They have enemies themselves. It's kind of like all these people are bad, but they have to fight other bad people too. There's no honor amongst themselves. So they have to sometimes, deal with something else besides you. They're just like in our world, we have all these different countries, and they all have spies, or they're trying to get intelligence, with amongst each other, amongst each other dictators and rulers and kings and queens and royalties and stuff. Okay? This is directly what these ETs are coming into. They want that power. They want that hierarchy. Was that my battery? Yeah. Sorry guys, let me change that. Oh, let me put the diagram on because it takes me about 10 seconds to... There's the diagram. What? I didn't turn that back on, sorry. Come on. My mouse was doing its own mind. I'm swapping the battery. Takes me a few seconds. Thank you for your patience. All right. Should be about 3, 2, 2.5, 1. Oh, Machiwa. Nixo, thank you for the love. Candace? Hey, Candace, what's up? Well, all you have to do is if you're wondering about another religion, like the Quran, well, just look at it and see how it compares to the concept of all are God, all are one. Try to find something that where everything is all God, all are one. Where they don't put down female, because isn't it interesting? Hindus, women are down here too. Okay, where's that wisdom, huh, honey? Hello. No. 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 Women are equal. Okay? So, check your question with that. Do they put down women, or do they, I guess we know that one, right? Or do they think that there's only one God? And usually, almost always, that one God is always angry and wrathful and dangerous. So that's how you check. You want to see a being that is loving and peaceful, and gosh dang, man, yes, that would be awesome. Some of us connect to that. There's parts of creation out there that are still reaching us, through us. It's our DNA. You guys open this and this and this, you can see those beings, not just Anunnaki and reptilians. Well, hey, you can see the light beings too. I've seen beings in places that had no distortion. I was trying to think of the freaking words, what to say. Like, there is no example here. It's a place of no distortion. No dark concepts or ideas. I felt myself as a child, like I knew there was advanced beings near me. I couldn't see them, but I felt their protection and love. And I don't remember but what they look like, but there was a little brother or a little sister with me that we were playing with, and we were just in love and bliss. It was blissful. So I know this consciousness is out there. I know it's dark here, but there's this love too. There's loving beings out there, the holy beings, sacred beings who follow law of one. And I would say, as advice, put intention. Start putting the intention, and try to realize, some of the religion concepts of praying and worshiping is got to be reviewed for yourself, because this is telling you God's outside yourself. It's not true, holy ones. God is part of all. How can you guys even say that when you say God is everywhere? God omnipresent. You learn the 3 O's when you're in Sunday school. Omnipresent, omnipotent, beside immutable and all this stuff. If God is everywhere, how can God be outside yourself? But, I mean, well, I got to reverse that question. How can God not be inside you? There. How? God's everywhere. Oh, but not inside you? So if God is omnipresent, how can you be separate from God? How can anyone be separate from God? Now, I won't go on that tangent, because I know that can take me a long time. But just realize, you guys, nothing is outside of God. That is what is the law of one. That is our belief. And we're following happiness and joy and peace. And other religions don't follow love, principle, and peace. And no, it's about judging and special people, special races. Oh, and it's good to sacrifice yourself. No, it's not. It's good to sacrifice others. No, it's not. You know, you have to tell people this. No, you don't have to tell people this. What I'm saying is, yeah, you have to tell people, because they don't even know it's a possibility. Huh? People don't know anything other than this darkness, than this religion. They don't know anything, so we have to say something so they know there's another alternative. Give the choice, because no one else is given that choice. Now you just see one choice: some angry, wrathful, hateful God. And not to mention, most of the people are preaching from there, like damning you, judging you with anger and wrath, just like this holy book. Apparently it's holy. You can find some spiritual truth in there. Yeah, you can. Of course. We didn't say you couldn't. It's what you call half-truths. Half. Some truth. And I would wager it's actually less than half. But we're not judging. We're just talking about the Anunnaki and the reptilians and what they have done to the holy books. When you got the part of the church, the Catholic Church, heavily involved in snakes and reptiles, heavily with the dragons, then someone who actually represents light says something about it. We remind you to know what the Roman Catholic Church did with the Holy Bible in 325 AD. They had a council, special council. Oh, nice council. No, not good. They made all kinds of changes in your Holy Bible. It's a book that has an actual track record. You can follow a breadcrumb. You can see that these beings did this. The Guardian information, Ashiana Dean, I've heard her say it herself, these religions used to be holy. They used to be good, based on the law of one. And why was there different ones? Because there was different races involved in the human DNA. And each one is kind of like considered like you'll learn from the Voyagers information, from Ashiana's work, you'll learn that there's actually holographic disc records. 12 of them. 12 holographic disc records. And each one is a separate story, data from each dimension. There's a disc 1 for dimension 1, there's a disc 2 for dimension 2, and all the way up. So every level is a different consciousness, a different race, a different holy one, knowledge. Different holy teaching based on the law of one. And those were all different races of people. The Lemurian is a different race than the Atlantean. The Atlantean is a different race than the Aryan. And then we have different races in the Polarians and the Hyperboreans. And then we have different races in the future races that come after the Aryans, us. There's going to be a race called the Mavarians. The Guardians have told us some of our future. We know some of the future. After the Mavarians, you got the Unchechi. Okay? And after the Enchechi, that's the sixth strand. That's the third eye strand. So that's way in the future where the whole race will be six-dimensional beings that are creating the sixth strand of DNA. So this is what we're doing. We're trying to grow DNA. But then we got a bunch of fallen angelics, like these malevolent, dark Anunnaki gods, creator gods. You're no god, honey. Well, anyways, they're creator gods, and you got the dragon creator gods. And now they're trying to impose their tyranny on you. You're living it. You're feeling it. You know, a lot of this information talks about your DNA distortion. What do you think is happening in nowadays with these seeds being manipulated by some person, company, right? And now you got this stuff going on into your DNA. Well, some of you have agreed with that tyranny and have agreed with that DNA mutation. Oh, you got some of that in your body already. Well, take Cathara too, honey. Learn some of Ashiana's advanced material if you're in that dire situation. If you're feeling some dire situation, you want to learn from the master. Machiwa. The information is here. There's no excuse. It's been here for 20 years, this information. And there's a lifetime of it. So I'm not trying to, say or build myself up and point at myself, because that's surely what some of you have done out there. It's not about me. It's not about her. It's about this ascension period. It's about learning actual technique that protects you from these fallen angels. And at the same time, we're trying to heal some of those fallen angels. That's why you have to be in a very neutral kind of like law of one type of point of view. We don't point our fingers and hate them. We don't complain about them. We simply report to all the beings that want peace and love to protect themselves against them. Their techniques. They have techniques against you. They have knowledge against you. They're using energies against you. They're trying to manipulate you. They're master vampire criminals. Yeah, these beings are not stupid. They're just as equal in power as the guardians. They're down here. They're also God, just like you. So you can respect that this is God. It's got to be dangerous if it's dark. So we are experiencing some of those choices that we made before. It's called karma. Why we're suffering is because of karma. Because what creates it was our past thoughts. You could call them deeds, but no, it's the things how you treated people. Deeds, I guess. How you were in the world. It's not a guilt sin thing, religion thing. It's a energy consciousness vibration thing. You want to vibrate to the darkness? Okay. God sovereign free. You are God. You are sovereign. You are free. I'm God sovereign free, but we serve light. We're both God, honey. I love you. Give me a hug. What's up, villain? What's up, criminal? What's up, gangsta? I love you too. God loves you. You're God. You're all God. I mean, you may not love others, but others love you. The angels came, archangels, angels of light, light workers, empaths, indigos. Hello, we're coming here because we loved you so much. This is a dangerous level of consciousness. And as a matter of fact, some of us are forgetting. Some indigos are sleeping. We're trying to change that. That's why it's not a dogma. We offer this information, and you have God's sovereign free will. Even if your religion doesn't say so, you do. You're God's sovereign free. You have free will. And you're not going to expect a punishment for exercising your free will. You are God, Holy One. We don't condone what dark beings do, and we're not sheep to them. You're not going to be a snack to them. You're not going to be here. Okay, drink up. Here's my neck. Vampire. Drain me some. I ate a big meal. Go ahead, suck me dry. Yeah, I like it. I love them. You know, some people are into that. dark, dark music and dark conversations, dark places on the web. Yeah, cause it's like cool to be Sodom and Gomorrah. It's cool to be twisted and that shadow gangster thing going on. We'll go for 10 more minutes, you guys. 10 more minutes, okay? Makoya. And I've made other videos about the Anunnaki if you're interested. And there's going to be more stuff on my site. But I made a whole article. Look on my blog on my website. Check it out. And also sign up to the blog, okay? Put your email in there, buddy. And we're going to bring it through. I have an article right now all about this fallen Anu Elohim and the creation of the Anunnaki. I should have put that link in there, but it's on my site if you go to my site. So it happened 250 billion years ago, but that's in a density 5 right now. You know, but they're in density... No, that didn't... I made a mistake. Density 4. There's no darkness in density 5. Density 4 avatars fell. So, we're just like... You know, they got their gangsters and we got our gangsters. It's a fallen angelic war. It's an fallen angel war. I mean, realistically, it's beyond angels. It's the avatars that are fighting. The Enlil, Enki, all these Cable and Esau, Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau. Interesting. So we have this Motsatas. Man, you guys can feel some of this. You feel it. All this other Zechariah ascension BS and people talking about, oh, the Anunnaki created my race, Vato. You shouldn't be saying shit about my God. Honey, we're telling you something, details you probably don't know from Zechariah. Okay? Right? So, you're going to learn something more about the Anunnaki that'll trip you out. So, now, it's kind of like, almost like Prometheus. If you're going to talk about the ones from Density 2. Because realize they were giants to us. The Anunnaki in Density 2, look at my diagram please, it shows you that in the future, you're giants. So were the Anunnaki, they're giants too up there. So one day you will be a giant, not now. Look, we're like little midget 5-footers, 6-footers. Hello, you're a midget if you're 9 foot. They go up to 14 feet. This is the future of the human race, and other races will be taller. But there's different giants, and we're going to be giants, but the Anunnaki are giants too. So, and they do appear to us, the ones who do appear to us are appearing to us on earth as giants. And remember that even the Bible talks about the Nephilim, who were giants in Noah's day. Remember? That's why God supposedly made the flood. There was a flood made by the guardians of these beings. These beings created a flood. You know, they have control of the weather. We have control of the weather. You didn't know that? Anyways, there's all kinds of hurricanes and things going on at the touch of a button. Yeah. Look at that tsunami. Look at that earthquake. What are we doing there? So, these beings are busy doing all kinds of wicked things. They got these networks around the planet. Having something to do with Stonehenge. You know, underneath Stonehenge, what do you think that is? You know, this little thing. Underneath the earth is something major there. Okay, we got something going on in the grids. Artificial, like, being weaponized. We're learning about this. So check out my blog. I talk about the Anunnaki and how it all started. These freaking beings these two gangstas started it all. There wasn't even fallen angelics. We got along for 700 billion years, vatos. The Anu were nice. The reptiles, you can come up to them and kiss their cheek. It was Christos. It was, everyone was treating each other as God. I see you, Holy One. I see you. You say that to someone, you're recognizing that you're God and they're God and all are God. You don't have to go around calling everyone God, okay? We're just saying that everybody is. Even that little bug that you're trying to kill, even that, plant that you're shoving down your throat, you're munching and eating and swallowing and acid, and that being's alive or was alive. You have to eat air, but isn't air alive? So everything is alive, Vato. What's up? You're getting that source code, man. The more you get of that source life force, they call it life force, Jedi force, prana, baby. The more you get, wow, the more you are. You'll be like, I was human, but now I'm like Thor. Now I'm Spider-Man. Now I'm Superman. Now I'm Wonder Woman. Now I'm, wow, look at that. Yeah, baby. I can't wait to see you on the next live, Vatos. It's going to be on fire. I don't know what we're going to be talking about yet, but it's going to be on fire, man. Because you guys are the best. Alia, my brain. Karate Dave? Is there someone? Oh, Karate Dave. You said it, Vato. All are God and all are one. Yes, man. You guys are on fire. Thoth is not a good guy. Now, we have to say the whole story, because the whole story is he was bad and then wanted to come back to the light. So he was working on his bioregenesis. And so he was actually very respected when he was acting good. He was actually, so as an individual, because Thoth is an individual, not a collect. I mean, we're all part of collectives, but you know what I'm saying. Some of the historical people are literally collectives, but Thoth is an actual individual, and he actually was trusted so well that, much highly respected, he was entrusted with these holographic discs. And we're talking 11th dimension. Thoth was an avatar working on his Emerald Covenant. But then, and this is a very appropriate question because he's part of the Anunnaki. He's an Enki Anunnaki. That's what he is. But Thoth was able to steal disc 11, and that's how he created the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. So this is actually, notice the word emerald. I'm wondering why he would have done that. But he twisted the teachings, and it was for the dark illuminated ones. Remember, I don't say that word, but you know what I'm talking about. He made it in Atlantis, period. So it's not even for you guys. It was mostly for, this is an old information. Okay, the tablets of Thoth. He got the knowledge at one time from the Guardian information. He had the record. He had the actual literal. It's kind of like Ashiana suddenly turning dark, and keeping the knowledge and using it, like literally making dark knowledge out of it. So it was for the dark illuminated ones. He made it for them. It was their sacred text. It wasn't meant for you guardians. Now you're worshiping Thoth. Thoth is a dark being. He fell from that guardianship. He changed his mind. in a big way, he betrayed us in a big way. And so Thoth is not a good being. And you can basically just, that document is not Law of One. It's something other than. But it was a good question because we all, like Thoth in the beginning, were interested in the Egyptians. So we start looking at the Egyptian gods and we start, like maybe worshiping them. So you're taught to use them in magic, put their sigil, connect to Isis, the goddess from Egypt. I have to say those keywords next to that. Isis, the Egyptian goddess from the Nile. Because, but yeah, some of these beings are being worshipped now. Not just in those ancient days, right? They're being worshipped now. And I do want to say, because I just thought of it, Oceana did say that the Isis, the Egyptian goddess, Horus, and Osiris, and Anubis, and Hathor, those were actually originally guardian beings, guardian collectives, races. The Hathor people is a race, not an individual god or whatever. They were once good, but like usual, the Anunnaki came in and warped things, changed things. And I'm going to be going over that forbidden history. 50,000 years worth. All the way up to modern time. I'm going to save that for later because that could be conspiracy and I might just put that on my blog. So there's no one can say shit, right? So, because we have censorship in today's world. You just have to okay, take your business somewhere else then, okay? No big deal. We'll do it. We'll follow your rules, but we'll take the information somewhere else. Candace! Yeah, you gotta be good, darn it. The brain freeze. Yeah, another brain freeze. Is that, you're holy, but is that why you're laughing with tears? Are you talking about me or something? Oster, that's an understatement. You shouldn't fear anything. Are something going on with you, Candace? Oh, someone has brain freeze, huh? Is that what you guys are talking about? Your brain? Did you eat ice cream? Yeah, Thoth did a flip-flop. Good way to say it. And Enoch did a flip-flop. He's done it more than Thoth. He's gone back and forth a few times. See, why is it that this famous person also got some of the guardian information? Because he once was a guardian. They flip-flop. And so if they're going to take this powerful knowledge, reverse it, and teach the Wiccans and the priests following these gods, these creators, you guys are following gods. You gods are in your altar. Gods are in your astrology. These gods, you're dealing with extraterrestrial creator gods. Doesn't matter if it's Quetzalcoatl, some Mayan god, Aztec god, Hindu god. It doesn't matter what god it is. These are all low-level ETs convincing you that they are your god. In other words, I am your bully. In other words, I am your vampire. I'm gonna suck on you because you're gonna worship me with guilt and fear and sacrifice. Wow, that puts things in perspective. Mochiwa. Abraham. Sacrifice your own son as a burnt offering to me, thy Lord. Okay. Psych! Just joking. Forget about it. Coachia, no sacrifice needed, honey. Nope. Nope. You don't have to sacrifice your son. or your daughter, or the little lamb, he wants to live. But there's no lambs living tonight, huh? You're gonna eat that steak. No. Sorry guys, we do that because we were once meat eaters, some of you. You know. I once ate meat for most of my life. Wow, damn. Can I take that back? Is that possible? I was once mean to you. I'm so sorry. Can I take that back? Don't go on that path, you guys. You don't. You can forgive, but you don't have to seek it. Forgiveness. For what? You're God. You don't have to be sorry for that. You can celebrate that you're God. You might be happy now. I'm not damned. No, you're not. Who? What? What said that you're damned? Like, think about who. But most people don't. They don't think about it. Think about this, though. You were born into a religion because your parents were. You were just a kid. Little kid. But you went to church. It's because your parents, and their parents, and their parents, maybe. They also were just going because they were born into it. Was there a time in your life where you grew out of it and said, I am my own person, I'm going to believe in let me choose my belief now? No, you're already believing. You're already think that's your truth. Or you identify that. Well, you didn't have a choice when you were a kid. Now you have a chance to think about it now. Now think about it. What do you feel? And whatever the answer is, that's the right one for you. If you want to follow that, okay. Right? Your Vatos are Anunnaki. Your Vatos are reptilians. What's up? And if they are, that's okay. You're not wrong. You're not evil. The law of one says you are God. And there's nothing else said after that. There's nothing else to say. Oh, he was Hitler though. There's nothing else to say. He's God. Well, what do you mean? What about demons? They're God. Huh? Well, is there right and wrong? No. We just said that. Then what is it then? What's being good then? What's being bad? See, you take your mind on this journey. I know we can like smirk about it, but it's real. A conscious spiritual journey, it takes you go through a process of questions and answers, a path of getting answers to your questions about spirit and God and reality. And if you're stuck on a dogma and you're not allowed to explore another belief system, it's blasphemy or sin, something is wrong. Your free will, hello, free will. So we also agree with that. You have free will, so you choose and find what resonates with you. Find that truth you're seeking. Not just accept what your culture automatically tells you what you should do, or what your country tells you what you should do, what your parents tell you what you should do, based on circumstance. Oh, if you were born in Japan, honey, you wouldn't be learning the same religion. If you were born in Africa, you wouldn't be believing just by circumstance. And there's reincarnation. You don't think you'd be just always a white person, always a American, always an Italian, always a French. No. You're going to be coming alive in different time periods, in different races. You have to live through all of them. You have to live through brown skin, white skin. Your soul is getting all of the human codes. And so that's the reality of reincarnation. You live as a Lemurian brown skin. You live as an Aryan white skin. You live as a Muvarian yellow skin. You live as a Unchechi black skin. Did we miss one? White. There's 5. White, black, red, yellow. Huh? White, yellow, red, white. Brown, black, white, yellow, red. Okay. So, you are going through 12 strands. Well, in your second strand, you were brown skin. Like, you're gonna at least have some lives as brown skin. It's in the second strand. That's the Lemurian stage. And, you know, even Native Americans are said to have red skin, or they're saying the Atlanteans are, the main color tone is red, like this. The main color tone of the future is yellow. Isn't that like Asian? The future race after us is going to be Asian. The future race after the Asians will be, like, we're mostly white, they're mostly Asian, they're mostly black. Well, you're going to be incarnating into those skins too. So why are you prejudiced? Well, because those Anunnaki are race supremacists. You know, they talk about the German people. They made these beautiful, you know, craft, and they were able to go somewhere like the moon and stuff and beyond. Wow. So not just them, the Mayans. There's other not lost civilizations, you would say, civilizations that went outside your human race. You would say they evolved beyond your people. They left your Earth into a different timeline. How? Portals, stargates. The planet has known portals and gates. Some of these powers can go to them, literally. Some people are actively accessing these possibilities. Yeah, it's 8:50. This will have to be a part 2, guys, because it seems like there's a lot of people interested in this. Thank you guys for being here. And there was a new member tonight on this video. So it was worth coming for you, Holy One, for all of you. I don't know about prophet. I just know that, you know, it's not nice to talk about people's religions, but I think some of their religion is sacrifice, right? You have to sacrifice. If you sacrifice yourself, it's considered a great honor. Even the Vikings think this. I mean, this is, and some of their rituals are ripping off your skin and crucifying people. And this is considered good to their god. And they'll have all kinds of those holidays of giving blood and sacrifice to gods. It's not just Hebrews and Vikings and all these other, there's so many gods that want sacrifice and blood ritual, like the Aztec gods. You know, some of those Hindu gods, you see they're ripping off human heads and they're eating people. What? And this is a divine being. Whatever the reason this being is doing this, it's not divine. It's not good, nice God. So, you know, we just have to tell people we're following Law of One, and we're providing this information as an alternative explanation. If you want to believe that you came from pond scum, or you came from apes, instead of some alien genetic experiment that's been going on for millions of years, okay. If you think you came from pond scum, thank you, dear. If you came from pond scum, well, gee, I think you need some more like awareness, because there's more out there than this explanation of life. I mean, especially people who are atheists, it's like, okay, nothing happens after I die. I am nothing. It's totally black. There's nothing. Okay. So everybody else, including the world, shuts off when you die. Oh, you see other people dying in the news, obituaries, in wars, people die. The universe didn't end, but when you die, it's gonna all shut off. But, you know, because that's kind of like it, almost like intelligence thing. Like, dude, really? Like, did you even think that out? How did the world even come into place? I mean, something had to flash on. You don't just flash on from nothing. You flash on from a program, from a design, from a code. That has to be created to create you, which is a complex being in itself, a walking, talking, thinking creature that eats food and lives a life and produces offspring and evolves in their intellect. Well, dude, that all is based on something previous. It created all that. But no, you just die and that's it. That's what I mean. You gotta think it out. Spirituality is asking those big questions. What is God? What is existence? You know, things like psychology, philosophy, religion, spirituality. They want to know these questions. We give you the answers from a guardian point of view. Okay? You're getting information about Anunnaki and reptilians from a guardian point of view. You're going to get mixed stories about and ideas about Anunnaki. And if we know there's censorship, we know there is. Why is there an Anunnaki notice on my video right now? Why is it that you're forced to look at Wikipedia's explanation? I love you. I'm just saying, right? Makaya, you make the choice. You decide. Listen to a few minutes and decide then. Oh, this guy's bullshit. Okay. I love you, Holy One. Thank you for spending a few moments. Some of you stayed longer, right? You want to know some of this spiritual stuff. It's not what you call New Age. We're against that Archangel Michael stuff, that Galactic Federation stuff. That's New Age movement. That is what is called the New Age movement. It's a movement against you, like a chessboard. We're gonna trick these human spirits. Are you being fooled? Some of you aren't. Honey, I don't think so, Mr. Anunnaki, Mrs. Drac, whatever you are. No, I don't think so. People are gonna awaken. This patriarchy stuff, because it's all about patriarchy, is old paradigm. And no, it's not time for matriarchy either. We didn't learn no lesson. Oh, now men are down here. Oh, okay. No. Okay, we learned, or didn't, I hope, that Aquarian, that Pisces, whatever you want to call it, that energy is obsolete. Humans, at least some of us are manifesting a different timeline. Okay, consciousness is powerful, and if we're all these Christos beings, becoming Christos beings, well, we're gonna manifest that timeline. We're gonna manifest it, bring it to us as a group, Christos mind. We're a field, baby. Let's unify it. Unified field. Yeah. Imagine what a group, Christos, a group guardian angelic team can do. Team Indigo Vatos. Yeah, you came to the right place. I wish Ashiana was speaking now, 2022, but she's not. You have to get people like me and Lisa Renee and Ireland Clark and some of you others out there. But, you know, we're picking up the baton, and some of you are meant to. Some of you are meant to share and post and make your own whatever, podcast, video, whatever, Telegram, Instagram, Facebook. Some of you are doing it. You don't have to have thousands of subscribers. You made a difference in a few people's lives. Hello. That's someone else's soul, family. And you help them remind themselves of what they are. Everyone can heal from this. Much respects to you guys. Thank you for coming to my live. I will be bringing this to an end, but it seemed like every time I talk about the Anunnaki, it gets the most views. I'm not trying to do that all the time, don't worry. But it's like, okay, holy ones, there's more. Not just these beings, there's more, much more, and some of them are good. Most people don't want to know about the good, right? They want to hear about the demons. You guys stick with me long enough, I hope, and we will be exploring these topics together. More to come about spiritual awakening and ascension. Thank you for being here tonight. A shout out to my moderators, Candace, Holy Ones. And you guys were like a big part of this. You're really helping, and I really respect you guys so much. All my members in the house and the ones from Patreon, thank you guys so much for being part of this. We are bringing this code, we are bringing this information together. It's in your body, man. Don't forget that part. This code, this knowledge, this record is part of you. So awaken, so we can awaken each other. That's how it works. Peace, vatos! Yeah! Just get excited. It makes you feel like you want to dance, man. You want to celebrate. You want to drink some wine, go ahead. You want to light up. You want to roll ride. You want to make a blunt, go ahead. What's up? Celebrate. Awaken. Transform. Transmute. What's up? Yeah! Another light production. See, vatos? Yeah. Love yourself. Give yourself a hug, man. Come on. Give yourself a cheer. Shine that light. Shine your love. Yeah, baby. I see you on the flip-flop. Vato locos. Spiritual gangsters, man. Namaste, holy ones. Peace! Yeah! I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. What's that other song? Like James Brown. I feel good. Do 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 do. Like I know that I